Hi, my new blog for this week. I did miss last week because I wasn't feeling good. So I'm back in this week, and I'm going to talk about a new book that actually I've read through quicker than anything I probably have done in I don't know, in probably a couple months. I'd say a little while, but in a couple months. It was when I recently picked up on a trip to a new half-price books I found in my area, and also some other books which I will probably be approaching as topics in upcoming blogs. So I'm trying to get the camera a little bit better. Okay, so the book I'm talking about is Goddess for Everyday by Julie Lore, and that is the book. And it's not a Wiccan book. It's not necessarily a pagan book, but it probably would be considered pagan because it deals with goddesses. But basically, it goes through the 365-day-a-year calendar, and on each day is a different goddess. If you want to find specific goddesses, there is, after the acknowledgement section, index of goddesses, which gives you the date you will find certain goddesses on. And honestly, that's why I've read through this book quickly, is because I found like goddesses I wanted to look at, and then from there it led me into reading more about the other goddesses that came after or before. I love this book because it gives like a little bit about the goddess, some of the most more common characteristics that are known from myths, and then it gives you a contemplation for the day. Today, March 16th, it is South African goddess Majaji, which I'm pronouncing that from the book, but she is South African rain goddess and the manifestation of the goddess Mawari. She has different titles, but it goes basically on a little bit about the myth. And then a contemplation for today. Secret powers. Today I call upon the cloud spirits to bring cleansing and purifying rain into the parched areas of my life. So if you felt like you have untapped potential, or just maybe like you need a change or some cleansing in your life, you could take that thought and meditate and see what you should do next in order to bring that about in your life. And I really like that. And every, like March 15th, Ides of March yesterday, was affirmation. On a beautiful trail I am, with it I wander, which is an excerpt from the Navajo Beauty Way chant, which she credits if she quotes from anything. There was one in here, I cannot remember what exactly it was, but she took a quote from a Tori Amos song. So I thought that was kind of cool and contemporary, especially because I like Tori Amos, so I like that. And then yesterday's goddess was Gillespie, who is a Navajo goddess. But that's just an example. You get Navajo, African, Roman, Greek, Middle Eastern, Japanese, Buddhist, Russian. I mean, there's 352 goddesses in here. It's impossible to find something you don't like in this book, and it's just such an uplifting book. If you can find it, I think I paid $6 for mine, and it says it originally retails oh, there's not a price in here. Normally there's a price in the back, but I'm sure it probably normally retails for somewhere between $15 to $25. But it's definitely worth it. I mean, seek this one out on Amazon, eBay. It'll be like your little feel-good book when you need inspiration. So I thoroughly enjoyed that book, and it is a book I will read every day probably. I mean, a little bit each day. It's uplifting to me. I like it. books I am going to be attempting to finish and then discuss in upcoming blogs. A Wiccan Bible by A.J. Drew. I've talked about this book with some friends of mine online, and I am still struggling to finish this book. My main problem with it is every time I start reading it, I will get so far, I will feel confused, and then I will like flip back to earlier in the book, then come back to where I was reading before, or I just flat out close the book, set it down, and literally argue in my head over what he has just said. I don't know if everybody has that reaction when they read books. I mean, everything you read is supposed to be taken with a grain of salt, and for me, I suppose it's just the fact that sometimes I like to debate, and like most people, I have my own sets of beliefs and the way things should be done. And while I've skimmed through it, I've seen some things I might like. There's just not a whole lot in this book I have liked so far that I can say absolutely 100%, oh, I did like this, without a but. The, fatal but. So, I will attempt to get to this book, and some of you may know Mr. Drew because of the controversy with the frost, but I'm not going there because I feel it's old news and not worth discussing. Laurie Shabbat, I believe I'm pronounced that right, Shabbat or Cabot, but I've got 2 books by her, and I found these for about $4 each. They're older copies of the book, but I mean, I feel they're sufficient, so I'm definitely going to get into reading these because I've read about her and heard about her sort of like through the grapevine for a while. So, Power of the Witch, Earth, the Moon, the Magical Path to Enlightenment, and Celebrate the Earth, a Year of Holidays in the Pagan Tradition. I will be tackling those. Few more goddess themed books. Maiden Mother Crone by D.J. Conway, and Devoted to You by Judy Harwell are 2 books I've picked up that are kind of like just goddess centric. They will be tackling reading those. Funny thing with this book was, I saw this book and I was convinced I already had it on my bookshelf, but I didn't have the other one that was in this series. So I picked up the other one that was in the series, only to come home, lo and behold, it was that one I had in my library, not this one. So I went back and exchanged it. The half-price book I bought it at and exchanged it at did not have it, but then when I went to another location, I found it. So, Advanced Candle Magic by Raymond Buckland. His practical candle magic book, I think I've talked about before, which is why I didn't bring it out for discussion now. But it is a book I do like if you're not confident in writing your own spells, because it gives you a good ritual that's like a basis. This one I picked up because it was on clearance for $1. Magic for Beginners by J.H. Brennan. And I've only been able to find a little bit on the internet about this, some mixed things. So, I'm going to give that a shot. And then 2 books by Ray Marrow. And he's not a Wiccan. Supposedly he's a hoodoo practitioner or a voodoo priest. But charm spells and formulas I have by him, and Hoodoo Mysteries, which I'm going to be reading out of curiosity. And there's a 3rd book I think I'm missing there in the series that if I find it, I will buy it and then probably read the whole group together. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great day.